Hey friends, how are you? So I am in Sacramento, California. I will show you the clips of me shopping at the bins. 2 days ago, it was quite busy. An accident happened. Some pepper spray went off. They kicked us all out of the store and we had to wait outside. Fire department showed up and it was like an hour process, an hour and a half process before we could go back in. And of course, all of us who had baskets, who were standing there at checkout or who just had full baskets, we wasn't going to let all of that time of us sourcing at the bins go to waste. So we all stuck around, until they opened up the store again so we can get our items and get out. So I went back in after they opened the doors, paid for my items, and then came out. And today is the next day. So it's been very eventful here shopping. So I'm just going to go to a regular Goodwill store right now because I want to see what kind of items that they have at a normal Goodwill compared to the bins. And I want to know, what are the prices now? What are the prices here in Sacramento? I don't know about you, but even in my thrift store, my Goodwill, Salvation Army, all that where I live, the prices are going up. So I want to go to this Goodwill store just to check out the prices, see what kind of things they have, and see if I can even find anything else discounted that I may be able to resell. All right, we are at the Goodwill in Sacramento. So here we are. Again, I'm just going to run in there, see what they got, because I have to be back at the Goodwill bins at 11 o'clock. It's about 9:30 now, and then the Goodwill bins is about 5 miles from here, so I have to be there at 11 when the doors open. Whew. Y'all, let's go. Let's go do this. Okay, y'all, I am in the pants section. They have some pretty good plus size 18 to 20, and they have a good variety of 18 to 20. So that is unusual. Some plus size pants. They got the little things at the bottom. You guys know how much I like shimmer. Little shimmer skirt, and it's new with tags, so that's good. And it's only $6.99. So I have a shirt to go with this if I wanted to buy it. Yeah, I'm just impressed that they have a really good section. They got some Torrid shorts. I've been seeing a lot of Torrid lately, but yeah, here's some Torrid shorts. New with tags, size 18. These are only $6.99. I might get these. Okay. So they have a really good section of plus size clothing, which I like. Because y'all know how hard it is to find. They even got they have all the way up to size 24. You don't even see size 24 at a regular retail store, but they have sizes all the way up to size 24. What is this, y'all? I don't even know, but they have it. I don't know if it was an outfit, a Halloween child, I don't know. All right, so I am in the skirts right now. They have skirts here from size 16 all the way up to 4X. So I like that. So I'm gonna start here in the 16, see what they have. Nice little skirt. And you don't have to wear a skirt this long. You can buy a long skirt and roll it up and make it short. Denim skirts were in. Yeah, this one has a slit on the side, so I don't know if denim skirts are still in. This one is very colorful. I like this one. It's paisley print. It has a little bow tie or a belt right here. The skirt is only $6.99. It's a 1X. But the material literally feels like somebody made it, but nope. It's actually a tag on this, but it feels like somebody made it. Like somebody made it at home. Yeah. All right, let's keep moving because I don't have much time. I am so amazed at all these plus sizes. This is a 3X. That is so good. I should do a live auction in the store. You know what I mean? For those who might want something. Hey people, so I have just made it to Sacramento. I worked 12-hour shift, no sleep, and then drove to Sacramento. So I'm here at the Goodwill Outlet in Sacramento. They've been open for about an hour. So I'm gonna go in here. Hopefully I find something because I've been awake for 15 hours. So here we are. So we are at the Goodwill Outlet in Sacramento. This one is the one that's closer to Reno, like if you're going on your way to Reno. So this is the Goodwill Outlet, and I chose this one because the parking lot in the building just looked a lot cleaner than some of the other Goodwill outlets. So we're gonna go in here and make it do what it do. Okay, so here we are at the bins in Sacramento. I'm just gonna start anywhere because before it gets super busy. Like it's 9 o'clock in the morning. They only been open for like 40 minutes. So let's get started. All right, so some of these have already been picked over. So some of this stuff has already been picked over. So I'm just going through it because I got here at 9. You know, there are 2 resellers got here at 8 o'clock and just destroyed this bins. But you know, they're not looking for what I'm looking for. I'm looking for plus sizes only. And I'm looking for women clothes. So, you know, stuff that you can sell. Here's a blazer right here. A brand new blazer. Nice color. Made in Italy. You know, Valentino. What do we find? Valentino dry clean only. Okay, I'll look this over later, but for right now I'm gonna throw this in my basket. I'll look at it even more. But yeah, if you decide to come to the bins, then y'all, this is the process. So everybody is lining up, waiting for the bins to come out. They are slowly coming out one by one. And the fact that they're not full all the way to the top means I need to leave like right now. Okay, people, I am back home and I am in my robe and my hair is out and it's doing what it's doing. And I don't even care because I've been on the road for 8 days, working at the hospital and thrifting at the bins. Now, thrifting at the bins, in my experience, is a whole different beast. It's a whole different animal. And I really don't know how often I will be shopping at the bins because I'm going to do a whole separate video on shopping at the bins and what you need to be prepared mentally and physically for, what you need to watch out for when you're digging through the bins. As a nurse, we had one hazardous situation where we all had to stand outside, and I'll show you that clip for 2 hours. There was another hazardous situation where somebody got cut. There was several hazardous situations, and then there was 2 altercations on 2 different occasions when I was at the bins. And my mentality is if somebody asked me for something and it's not something that I truly want, I said, here you go, take it. And me and this lady, we kept because the bins, you're so packed in like sardines, we kept reaching for the same items basically. I said, honey, these are all yours. They're all yours. And I'm in my nursing uniform, and I'm just like, I don't need stuff that bad. Maybe you do. Maybe this is because some people make their livings from shopping at the bins and going to the swap meet and selling stuff online. And there are true resellers who make their living from shopping at the bins. I don't make my bread and butter shopping at the bins. I make my money as an RN, a registered nurse. So I'm very polite. And so I'll tell you about one altercation that happened today. A young girl, she had to be in about 20, 25. Me and this older gentleman was like side to side, like this, elbow to elbow, looking through the bins, kind of chit-chatting while we're looking through the bins, cracking up about, you know, why do they put some of this stuff in the bins? Why do they put all these raggedy, dirty blankets in the bins? It's ridiculous. So we was kind of chopping up, kind of laughing, digging through the bins. This young girl squeezed her little skinny, narrow ass in between the both of us. And he said, excuse me, like you don't see me. That's what he said. He said, so you don't see me? She said, no, I don't see you. And then she kept digging through the bins. I said, that's what's wrong with these kids today. Just like that. She looked at me and I dared her to say something back to me. I looked at her like this and she didn't say nothing. I said, that's what's wrong with you kids today. You know, because here we are digging through stuff. It was not a lot of stuff in there. It was like sweaters and stuff people really didn't want. But some people just go there just to dig through, just to see what's out there. And this little girl, she had to be about 20 something and was just rude. And he said, okay, like you don't see me? She said, no, I don't see you. And I said, wow, wow. So if you're thinking about shopping at the bins, that's just something, or the Goodwill Outlet is called, we call it the bins. It's called the Goodwill Outlet. Let me be specific. That's just some of the things you're going to have to mentally prepare yourself for. Interesting enough, I learned something. I was wearing gloves the whole time. I'm not going to wear gloves anymore. If I go back, I am going to wear, I seen a black man, older gentleman in his 50s, maybe 60s. He had on golf gloves. Another gentleman had on like utility gloves that you use to work in your garden because they're thick. Because imagine if you cut yourself on something and you get like hepatitis, you get, you know, whatever bloodborne infections are out there. My thing is hepatitis. I don't know about HIV, but my main concern is like getting hepatitis, getting needing a tetanus shot because I cut myself on something. So that would be my biggest fear. And there are sharp objects. The other thing you need to prepare yourself for is the employees at the bins at the Goodwill Outlet. They don't check the bins before they put them out on the floor. So there was an instance where pepper spray for bears, okay? Pepper, just think what I just said. Pepper spray for bears. If you're getting attacked by a bear, you spray the pepper spray. It's not for humans, so this pepper spray is a lot stronger. Somebody grabbed it and it went off. The can sprayed her directly in her eyes and another gentleman directly in his eyes, way at the corner of the Goodwill Outlet. And it's a pretty sizable room. It took that spray roughly about 1 minute to get to the front where I was at the checkout counter getting ready to check out, and I felt it in my throat. That's how fast I just started hearing a whole bunch of people cough. And you know, my nurse brain went off and I turned around and I said, why is everybody coughing? And I started walking towards the exit. About time I got to the exit, the manager came out and said, everybody out, everybody out. Because they didn't know what it was. They didn't know it was bear spray. They didn't know if it was pepper spray. They didn't know it was something that, you know, people in there who have asthma that don't have their inhalers with them. And so we was just preparing for the worst, called the fire department, all that stuff. And so I'll show you those clips later. But that is something else you need to worry about what happened at the bins. And they also told us that that is not the first time that has happened. It happened last year, and it happened twice in 1 month, where something in a canister had went off and it sprayed. And I told them, well, then why don't you inspect some of these bins so people can stop getting cut and this can prevent this from happening? Why don't you have an employee like rummage through some of this stuff so this doesn't happen? Take out broken items. Take out items that can be hazardous or sharp or whatnot, so this does not happen. Because every time somebody gets hurt, the Goodwill employees have to write an incident report, and you can be sued for that. They can be sued. They can be held liable, you know, if something was to happen. So I just thought that was very interesting. So that was my experience at the Sacramento Goodwill Outlet. The stuff in there, you really have to dig very hard to find, especially when there's a lot of people, brand names. Okay, that was just my experience at Sacramento. I don't know how it is in LA, but I watched a video of the LA Goodwill outlets and it looked like it was the last day on earth. Okay, like people were scrounging for food items for survival. That's how it looked when I seen that video on YouTube. You can look at that video on YouTube. Just type in Goodwill Outlet Los Angeles, and there's a couple of people who have filmed what goes on at the Goodwill outlets, and I'm like, this ain't for the light of heart. It's not for everybody. So if you're looking for some good deals, I don't know if the Goodwill Outlet is for you. There's a lot of teenagers in there. There's a lot of people who come in as groups, and there are rarely any plus size. Anyway, in Sacramento, I don't know about LA. I don't know about any other outlet, but I'm going to 3 other outlets. Like I told you guys, I'll be in LA, I'll be in Las Vegas, and I think those are the only 2 because from what I saw, I don't know if good shopping at the bins is my cup of tea. So I think I'm gonna go back to shopping at just the thrift stores in general. I tend to find some very good pieces at the thrift stores, online, you know, just being thrifty. So, and then go from there. So thank God this is not my full-time job. I have mad respect for anybody who is a full-time reseller because this is not easy to do this stuff. And I showed you guys what I have in there. Now I have to wash it. I have to put labels on it, and then I have to list it. And listing it for one item for me, because I'm new, takes me a while. I'm not quite that fast yet at listing items. So if this is something you want to do, please watch some YouTube videos. I'm telling you what I do. I am new at this, so if this is something you are thinking about doing, I'm just telling you the hazards that I have already faced, okay? One thing I did like about the Goodwill outlets is the shoes. I love the shoes. Oh my God. I can't even imagine what Atlanta has or what Los Angeles has. I bet Los Angeles has some amazing shoes because I'm in little old Sacramento, and their shoes was phenomenal. I mean, you got to be like, you know, shoot, you got to throw them bows. You got to have them elbows out, be like, nah, son, you're not getting this. You know, that's the mentality you have to have. If there's something I really wanted, but somebody got it before, I'm not mean. I'm not going to like, you got one shoe, you got the other. Nah, you can have it because I'm not that hard up. I don't do this for a living. But I just found some really good things, and it makes me wonder, gosh, how much waste there is in this country. How much fast fashion, how much waste. Do you guys know? And I'm gonna surprise you. It's not even a clothing item. It's not even a clothing item. And I got it for less than $10. And that item is worth $150. It's an electronic. It's insane. It's insane. I'm like, how much stuff do we really waste? Somebody could literally open up a whole ass electronic store from stuff from the Goodwill bins. I bought a brand new flat iron. Brand new, spanking new, never been used. $1. Like, what? Yeah, so I see why people go. So depending on what you're looking for, I might go to the bins just to finish decorating my house, like low key. I might not even do clothes because I found more enjoyment looking at the shoes, looking at the electronics, perusing through there, and just find, oh, that's nice. Oh, that's nice. Because if you go to the clothes section, it's you know, it's all for one. I mean, it's survival. It's survival of the fittest. You got to get in there, get your head knocked around a couple of, because everybody got their elbows up. And I kept protecting my titties because, you know, guys are in there. They don't care about you and your titties. I'm like, oh, please don't elbow me. Please don't elbow me. I'm thinking somebody going to elbow me in my head. I said, I'm good. I'm good. And wear a mask. Wear gloves, like gloves, not the plastic kind, but just wear those. Anyway, I did have a good time. My hair is out. That's how frazzled I am, y'all, because, you know, I'm trying a new hairdo. And so that's why I look like this. And this little hair, this little twist is just in my darn way. Anyway, so yeah, that was my experience at the Goodwill bins. I am home now for a couple of days. I have some events to attend to, a barbecue to throw, and then I go back to work. Just one thing after another. So tomorrow, by the time you see this video, I'm going to show you what I bought, because hopefully by tonight I have everything washed, sorted, and counted, okay? So each item I believe was $2.29. Don't quote me on that. I have to look at the chart, but I think each item of clothing is $2.29 a pound. For Sacramento, you could go to LA and that price could go up to $3.50. Santa Rosa, that price is $3.50. So it depends on which Goodwill outlet you go to. They make their own prices. I wish I knew about the Goodwill bins when they were $1.99 a pound, or even $1 a pound. Man. Memorial Day weekend, if you're thinking about going to the bins, if this video is out, it is 50% off on Memorial Day